Just making a quick video about what I've managed to pick up at Mckays this week. So, picked up this movie by Full Moon called Unlucky Charms. Picked it up for $4.99. I saved this one for later. This will be my last one. Picked up this Sasquatch by it's got Lance Hendrickson's in it. It's put out by TriStar. I have not seen this movie in a long while. I remember it being a really good Bigfoot movie. Picked it up for $4.95. Sasquatch Hunters. This was another one I remember being a good movie. Picked it up for $2.95. Death Valley. The Revenge of Bloody Bill. I have not seen this one probably since it first came out. And this probably came out in the early 2000s. Picked it up for 95 cents. Deadly Species. This is another one I have not seen in years. This one, if I remember right, about some kind of genetic experiment with mixing animals with human DNA or something. Picked it up for $1.95. A lot of these movies I used to have a long time ago, and honestly, I haven't seen them in a long while. Not at Mckays and places I circulate at. I'm sure they've been on eBay and Amazon, but these were just cool just to see out in the wild. Shark Attack 3, Megalodon. They had the Shark Attack like 6 movie collection come out that had this part of it, but it's nice to have this as its own separate thing. Picked it up for $2.95. This is on eBay. This is going to my personal collection. This is listed on my eBay. Sasquatch Hunters is listed on my eBay. Sasquatch is my personal collection. Unlucky Charms is listed on eBay. I picked up Undead. If you have not seen this movie, this is definitely worth a watch. I'm not crazy into zombies, but I really like this one. It's got a little zombie alien twist to it. Picked it up for 95 cents. Picked up this older movie, The Telling Unrated Edition, for $3.95. I seen it a long time ago, but to be honest with you, I can't remember much about it other than it seemed like it was decent. I think it had like three or four stories in it, kind of like a creep show deal. I picked up Spiders for $4.95. These are all these older movies. I'm glad to pick them up because most of these I watched when they were like premieres on the Sci-Fi Channel, when the Sci-Fi Channel was first come around, and they had every Saturday night they had a new horror movie. Picked up Alone in the Dark 2 for $1.95. This one, instead of monsters and stuff, they're messing with, I believe it's a witch. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Ukina or something. The Horned Monstrosity. This is by SRS. They make kind of like homage to the old Godzillas, where it's people just walking around in big old rubber suits as monsters. The CGI is really kind of low grade, but it's fun little campy movies if you're like me and you remember growing up watching the old 60s and 70s Godzillas. Like this is what that's like. And finally, well, not finally, I got one more, but after this one, picked up 100 Feet Blu-ray for $2.95. So, this was an interesting one because she's on probation for killing her abusive husband, who was a police officer. And she gets an ankle monitor and she's stuck in her house under house arrest, and her husband is haunting the house. So that I will have a review up for that one at some point. That is a interesting take on a movie. And finally, I picked this up, the Loch Ness Horror. So this is something that was only out on VHS, and it was very rare to find it on VHS. And it looks like what somebody has done is there was these sites. You can't see it here probably. The camera's not going to pick it up, but it's got a label around the disc here that says VHSPS.com. There are sites that you can send your VHS tapes in, and they will convert them over to DVD format. And I believe that's what somebody done with this. There's no barcode. I mean, that's had to have been what they've done. But to find this on DVD format, which granted it's VHS quality, all they did was just transfer it up to a DVD. They didn't, it wasn't remastered. It was just transferred over. But this was still a fantastic find because you cannot find the VHS for anywhere near an affordable price. And I picked this up for $9.99. So this was a fantastic price for this. And that's all I picked up. Keep an eye on my eBay store. And we're off to the next one.